clarity. Clarity is my favorite word in success. It's my favorite word in business. And what I found is in every single situation, problems occur when the company becomes unclear about what it is they're doing or how it is they're doing it. And I find that all problems come from lack of clarity. What is your product? It's the first question you ask. Who is your customer? What does your customer consider to be more valuable than anything else? How are you superior to your competitors? What can you do to attract more customers? What can you do to close those customers? I'll come to this in a second, but basically it's clarity, lack of clarity. Now, like this. And this is what they did. This is how they planned their day. They made a list, to-do list today, today's date. They wrote down everything they had to do. They always work from a list, always work from a list, always work from a list. If you don't work from a list, it's very much like taking your hands off the wheel of your car going down a winding road in the mountains. What happens is your life's going to go up and you're instantly going to start doing irrelevant and unimportant and useless things. And at the end of the day, you'll be exhausted and you'll accomplish nothing. The most powerful tool in the world is you, a pen, and a piece of paper. This is the greatest wealth creator in the world. Phone. But what I found is that if you write it down, it records into your brain, and your chances are you'll remember it. I found that if your goals are not in writing, and one of the things I taught, and I've taught more than 5 million people, is write your goals down on paper, and write them down in the present tense as though you had already achieved them. I earn X number of dollars in 2019. I am a self-made millionaire by January 1st, 2025. I weigh X number of pounds. I live in a 5,000 square foot house with a separate bedroom for each one of my children. In other words, write it down as though it were already a fact, and you're just reporting it. You're just reporting the fact. Your subconscious mind is marvelous, but what it does is it only thrives on goals that you pronounce in the now, in the present tense. It's in your brain, where your brain knows that you're only earning this amount of money, but now you're saying, but I earn this amount of money. Your brain knows that you're not a millionaire, but now you're saying, I am a millionaire. And so your brain goes to work to close this gap between where you are and where you want to be. And your brain starts to work 24 hours a day. And it works and it gives you ideas. Each person here has what is called a superconscious mind. And this mind has been talked about for 5,000 years, and some call it the oversoul, and some people call it the God mind, some people call it God, spirit, whatever it happens to be. But there's this incredible power in the universe that you can tap into. You could just reach into it by simply writing down a goal clearly on a piece of paper, and then this mind goes to work 24 hours a day to bring it into your life. You've all read the books about the law of attraction and so on. Well, the fact is that once you are clear on a goal and you write it down, not type it, but write it down, is you force this energy field of attraction, and it starts to pull into your life everything that you need to make the goal clear. But if it's not in writing, not a darn thing happens. And so I'm going to ask you, I sometimes ask people, say, please, 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 just do one thing for me, is write down your goals. Your life will transform. It's almost like taking some magic elixir. Your whole life will be different. Anyway, what you do is, I said in life, every person has a turning point, and the turning point comes when you set upon a major goal. Because once you are clear about your goal, you start to see all kinds of opportunities, things that you can do that you hadn't thought of doing, that move you faster toward the goal and move the goal toward you. You activate this field of magnetism and you start to attract into your life people and circumstances who help you to achieve the goal, and you help to achieve their goals. I mean, it's the most amazing thing. And it is true, and it has been true for thousands of years, and it is the great secret of success. 7 C's, and I get to spend all day on these. But number 1 C is clarity, is being absolutely clear who you are, which means what you want in life, what kind of a person you are, what you believe in, what's important to you, what you care about. You'll never be successful unless you're doing something that you enjoy and doing it well. We talked about the importance of self-esteem. And what he said is your self-esteem is defined as how much you like yourself. And the more you like yourself, the more you like other people. And the more you like yourself, the more confidence you have, and the more willing you are to try different things. And the more you like yourself, the less afraid you are of making mistakes. So you're willing to take chances with the possibility that you won't be successful. The more you like yourself. And the way that you build up your self-esteem is you simply say, I like myself. I like myself. Number 1 is clarity. So here are the 7 keys to setting and achieving goals. These 7 keys will make you rich. Key number 1 is to decide exactly what you want. Decide exactly what you want. And the great majority of people really don't know what they want. They want to be rich, but what does that mean? How much is that? When? How soon? What are you going to do to get it? Number 2 is write it down. Write it down, write it down, write it down. There's nothing more important than writing down your goals. Because if it's not written down, it's merely a fantasy. Now, they've done a whole series of studies at Harvard and Yale and Cornell and so on about the difference between students who type their notes and students who write their notes. The students who write their notes all get straight A's. The students who type their notes forget everything before the end of the day. Because writing forces you to use 3 abilities. Your kinesthetic ability, your physical ability of writing, your audio ability, you see it when you're writing, and your auditory ability, you say it to yourself when you're writing. So you activate the 3 major parts of your brain simultaneously, like a laser beam from a space station, zap, onto a piece of paper, and your subconscious mind accepts it as a command, and your superconscious mind starts to work on it 24 hours a day. Just write it down, write it down. And it's the most amazing darn thing. If all you did was write down 1 goal and leave this conference, your life will be different forever. And because all kinds of things will start to happen. And you'll say, well, that's a coincidence. I just wrote that goal down when I was in that meeting this afternoon, and then I got this phone call or something in the mail, or I saw something on TV, or so, it's just phenomenal. So step number 1, decide what you want. Number 2, write it down. Number 3, set a deadline. Tell your subconscious when you want it. I want this by such and such a date. So every goal always ends with a use by date. In other words, I achieve this goal by this date. And you write it in the present tense. Step number 4, just make a list of everything that you can think of to do. Just make a list, and as you think of more things, add it to the list. Keep writing it down, writing it down. And sometimes you'll think of something in the middle of the night, write it down, keep a pad of paper next to your bed, and quickly write it down so you don't forget it. Just write it down, write it down. That's number 4, and this is really important. It's the great turning point, like a massive ship turning in the ocean. Your whole life starts to turn when you write down a list of the steps you're going to have to take. whatever you want to do, he says, create a checklist. He said, everything in the world, this room, the car, swimming pool, everything follows a checklist. Everything requires a checklist to build it. And the wonderful thing about organizing a checklist before you begin work on a project, it has an extraordinary effect on your life. And what he does is he teaches in the most entertaining way how people who did not use checklists died, went bankrupt, the most successful people in finance in the world, how they use checklists in order to organize their financial life, business people. Anyway, it's the one book that I would recommend. It's a short book. It's just fascinating reading. It's called The Checklist Manifesto. Anyway, so take your list of goals and organize your list by priority. Make a checklist. What's number 1? What's number 2? What's number 3? And so on. And as you get more information, change the list, reorganize it, write it, move things up and down. Step number 6 is to take action on your list. Take action on the most important thing on your list. Do something. Launch. Get going. Do it now. Do it do it immediately. Get up and do something. It doesn't have to be a lot. It can be revising your papers. It can be making a phone call. It can be ordering a book. It can be something. But do something, which is sort of like the kickoff in a football game. Just kick the ball off as far as you can. And number 7, and this is going to make you rich, happy, popular, and thin. Number 7 is do something every day on your most important goal. Do something every day on your most important goal. And here's the exercise. Take a clean sheet of paper and write down goals and today's date, and then write down 10 goals that you would like to accomplish in the next 12 months. Don't worry about 2 years or 10 years or 5 years. Just 10 goals you'd like to accomplish in the next 12 months, and write them in the present tense. Almost like you're submitting an order. And just write down, I earn, I achieve, I weigh, I drive such and such a car, I own. Whatever it happens to be, and the goals will be financial goals, family goals, physical goals, and so on. Write down 10. And then you take this list of 10, and you say, if I had a magic wand, and I could wave this magic wand, and I could have any one goal on my list within 24 hours, which one goal would have the greatest positive impact on my life? Which one goal? And go over it. And usually this will jump out at you. It'll jump out at you like a spider in a horror movie. It'll grab you. And put a circle around that goal. And that's a goal you transfer to a clean sheet of paper, and then you follow the 7 steps. Write it down, set a deadline, make a list of everything you have to do to accomplish it, organize the list into a checklist, take action, and then do something every day. If you'll just do this simple exercise, then you'll all be rich. You'll all be rich. Nothing can stop you but yourself. So number 2, the second C is the C of competence. And the C of competence says, it's very simple, is that you can only earn a lot of money if you're very good at what you do. And so one of the most important things you do is you break down your work into skills. And you say, what are the most important skills I need to have to be successful? And there's recruiting is a very important skill. Training is an important skill. Managing, motivating is an important skill. Leading, supervising, are important skills. So what you do is you think, what are the skills that I will need to be in the top 10% of my field? You don't have to be in the top 1%. Just be in the top 10%, because there are no successful people who are not good at what they do. They are good at what they do, and they are good at what they do because they work at it all the time, whether you're in sports or whether you're in music or chess or anything else. But basically what it said was studying the most successful people is that these people spend far more hours becoming good at what they do than average people. The other people don't do it. And that everybody has natural abilities, but the ones who use those abilities transform themselves by really, really working hard at becoming good, one skill at a time. Now, this is another thing that's really important. Don't try to be good at everything, because what happens is you just break down. You just overwhelm yourself, and you just give up. You say, oh, I tried that before. And the most important thing was I got people just to make a decision. I asked them to make a decision. The C of concentration is your ability to focus, which we talked about before. It's your ability to focus single-mindedly on one thing at a time, and to work on that one task until it's complete. And to discipline yourself not to do anything else, or to become distracted by emails and bells and bips and noises and things like that. It's just your ability to focus like a laser beam on a single task. And one of the titles, Chapter 15, there's 21 great ways to stop procrastinating and get more things done faster. And one of the chapters was called Eat That Frog. And Eat That Frog, it came from a story by Mark Twain, where he said, if the first thing you do when you get up in the morning is you eat a live frog, you'll have the pleasure of knowing that's probably the worst thing that's going to happen to you all day long. And Mark Twain was just incredibly good humorist. And he said, and there's 2 corollaries to that rule. Number 1 is if you have to eat a frog at all, it does not pay to sit and look at it for very long. Get on with it, get it over. He said, and the second corollary is if you have 2 frogs to eat the ugliest one first. It says that the key to success is do the worst first. Eat the ugliest frog first. And I really like that. And so your job is to eat that frog. So my people have transformed their lives by this simple concept. And the concept is, once you have determined the most valuable and important thing you can do, start with that first, and do only that task until it's complete. Now, the first time that you try to do this, you will find it's quite difficult. He explains in this book, you will learn the master key to riches. And so it's a whole book on motivational ideas and principles. And the last line of the last chapter of the last page is, now you know the master key to riches is self-discipline. And what we have found is that the most successful people have come to that conclusion as well, is that self-discipline is the master key to success. So for you to write down your goals and make a plan and set priorities and start with your most important task takes tremendous self-discipline. If you haven't done it up to now, it's so hard. But Goethe said, everything is hard before it's easy. And everything at the beginning is difficult, but later it becomes easy and automatic. You have to force yourself to discipline yourself at the beginning, but after that, it becomes easier, and you actually feel happy. Now, here's the most wonderful thing. When you discipline yourself to start and complete a task, or a part of a task, you feel like an athlete. So here, what it says is that when you win, when you come in as the winner, your body releases endorphins, which are called nature's happy drug. They make you happy, and dopamine, which is a form of energy. that you get from a positive experience. So when you complete a task, your body releases these drugs and you feel happy. So they call it, the psychologists call it nature's happy drug. If you want to be happy, just start and complete a task. And you get a zip. Wow, wow, you feel happy. See, what have I got here that will take 10 minutes? I can do this in 10 minutes. So I'll always end my day with a completed task. This is a real simple thing, and I've done it. I tick it off, complete, down, and I'm happy. And I walk out and I'm smiling. When you discipline yourself to complete a task, you give yourself a buzz. Alfred Adler, one of the top psychologists of history, called this a positive addiction. He said if you start and complete a task, you get a buzz. And the buzz becomes addictive. You start thinking, no, I want that buzz again. But the buzz is a positive addiction in that it makes you happy when you do it. So every time you start and complete a task, you feel like a winner. And when you feel like a winner, you want to do it again and have that winning feeling. Acknowledge their success, whatever it happens to be, make them feel like a winner. Because every single time you start and complete something, and it's acknowledged, the person feels like a winner. You know, those are the first three. Clarity, be absolutely clear about your goals and what you need to do to achieve them. Competence, become very good at your tasks. And number three is concentration. Concentrate single-mindedly on your most important task and stay with it until it's complete. What you need. Start and finish your most important task. Number four is constraints. Now, constraints is a concept that was developed by a management consultant many years ago. And it says that between where you are today and where you want to be sometime in the future, a goal, is there is always one constraint or choke point that determines the speed at which you get from here to here. That's the constraint. So the art of life is to identify the constraints that are holding you back from achieving the goal that you want to achieve. And it could be something simple like finding a parking space. It could be something simple like getting your shopping done and so on. Continually ask, what is the constraint or limiting factor is what they call it, the limiting factor between here and where you want to go. So you say to yourself, all right, you want to achieve a particular goal. So you ask yourself, what is the one factor that determines the speed at which you achieve that goal? What is the one factor that determines the speed at which you achieve your most important goal? And you work with your downline, you work with your consultants, you work with other people, and you help them to be absolutely clear. And don't try to change the world. Try to change one thing, one factor. Try to alleviate one factor, and that'll change your whole life. It's principles that we have. The number four is constraints, and number five is continuous learning and development, is dedicate yourself to becoming better and better at what you do. Commitment is really important. There's no success without commitment, without you putting your whole heart into what you're doing, and putting your whole heart into what you're doing for a long time. But if you do, there's no limit on what you can accomplish. You get up in the morning and you make a decision that, by gum, I'm going to succeed in this business no matter how long it takes, no matter how many hours a day. And number seven is courage. And courage, Winston Churchill said, courage is rightly considered the foremost of the virtues, for upon it all others depend. And in courage, what you have is two parts. The first part of courage is the courage to begin, to launch, to take a chance, to face failure and rejection, to try something with a very great possibility that you will fail and you'll feel embarrassed and upset and your self-esteem will go down and so on. But the second part of courage is persistence. It's the power to keep going and keep pushing yourself and driving yourself. And I found that that's true, because I never give up. And my children never give up. It's not in our vocabulary. We never think, we'll try something different, we'll try something new, we'll take the losses and so on, but we'll never give up. So how do you develop this unshakable quality of persistence, which will guarantee your success in life? Nothing can stop you if you don't quit. If you don't quit, then the only alternative is you must succeed, and eventually you must succeed greatly. Well, the great rule, you become what you think about, but you become what you say to yourself. So what you do is you say to yourself these magic words. You say, I never give up. A lot about him or her, but I know one thing is he or she never gives up. They will not stop. They will keep coming at you like a bulldog. They will never give up. If you never give up, my promise to you, my guarantee to you, is that you are going to be an enormous success in the months and years ahead, and I hope you are. Thank you very much.